the Varsity Sports Bar and Grill on Beachmont Avenue in Anderson Township. It is the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast. Hi, everyone. I'm Dan Carroll. And Rob, I want to get to it right away because I have a very, very important announcement. Something that, look, we care.
Are you finally coming out? I mean,
we care about the people who watch us on the YouTube and listen to us wherever you get podcasts.
The YouTube.
We care very much about
YouTube.
That. Can you just bring me up in my ears a little bit?
Yeah.
But we care very much about these people, and I want them to know what is happening because it may be the most important announcement of all time.
I'm afraid.
Oh,
I'm just saying. This is very, very important.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I am as well.
Something that everyone needs to know and adjust your life accordingly. So it's the way it is.
Are you going to bring it to us or what, man?
Well, I want to get the introductions out of the way.
You build it up. I mean, it's
I do it. That's a little tease.
Is that why you got fired as a fluffer? You build it up and let the guy go in there flaccid as shit? I mean, come on, Dan, you build it.
We're going to do, I'm glad you're aroused and all that, but we're going to do the introductions, and then I got to get straight to this announcement.
Oh, dear God. Hey, Dan, I'm here. Hey, Kiefer, thank you. Welcome to the podcast. Dan, let's go. Let's do the announcement. Come on.
Hey, glad to be here.
I'd like to hear Jason Kiefer weigh in.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
Jesus.
That was a great tease, though, by the way. Great tease.
Now you know why I want him to ride in my car on the way down to Clayton.
This very important announcement comes from the one and only Greta Thunberg.
Dear God, that's it.
Of course, one of the world's top climate activists, and she may or may not be on the spectrum, but that's for another. That's for a whole.
I thought you were coming out for sure.
Here's a statement that Greta Thunberg just put out, and I think it's very, very important that everyone know this.
I don't think it is.
And I will quote Greta Thunberg.
Well, fucking get it out there, Jesus.
A top climate scientist is warning that climate change will wipe out all of humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years. That's the word from Greta Thunberg. I mean, I think everyone needs to know that and prepare that all of humanity, according to Greta Thunberg, who, as we know, travels around the world on jets that are only propelled by cow flatulence, is warning everyone that are in 5 years' time, unless we stop using fossil fuels,
Jesus,
which you burn in your car every single day, you are leading the world to certain wiping out of all of humanity in 5 years' time. I thought that was very important.
I honestly cannot believe we opened with that shit show. He's got to screen the new announcements by both of us before this shit show started. Because I did not know where this was going.
What could be more urgent than this?
Keith, did you have an update on what this was going to happen? No, zero, right?
This
I'm getting ready to go buy all the bottled water and toilet paper that I can.
This just came up on my Twitter feed, and I'm thinking to myself, my God, people need to know this.
Dan, you're not allowed.
Come on.
No, you're not allowed to talk anymore.
People need to know. I mean, 5 years goes by pretty quickly if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I'll be 48 and I'll be.
It feels like
I'll be retired.
It feels like we've been talking about this shit for 5 years, Dan, and we just started the show.
All of humanity, it says right here. You can read it for yourself.
I don't want to read it, Dan. I don't care.
Yeah, because I could give two shits with that.
We'll wipe out all of humanity.
But see,
right, we got it, Dan.
But see, that's what they call clickbait. Because Dan will click on it and be like, "Oh man,
this is not clickbait. This is the statement from Greta Thunberg." I mean, the way the media treats her like she's the queen of the world.
Most people will click on a girl in a bikini. And Dan clicks on Greta Thunberg.
Yeah. Jesus. Speaking of clicking.
Jesus Christ.
We've got a special guest today.
I can't believe you're belittling this very important statement. What the hell is wrong with you?
It's fucking groundbreaking.
Are you going to go on record as saying you're a climate denier?
Oh,
are you a climate denier?
Can we turn this podcast off and start over without Dan?
Are you a climate
denier?
No,
it's cold
I can't believe I'm sitting here.
It's cold as shit outside.
I can't believe I'm sitting here and you're still going on about
with
this
two
shit.
Climate deniers. Wow.
No, I'm not climate denying. It's cold as fuck outside. I hate it.
Baby, it's cold.
Winter has returned to our neck of the woods.
How's that? See, I tell everybody this is like three stepbrothers fighting and drinking beer. It's
I got up
Christmas Day.
I got up from texting you late at night. I looked out the window and the snow's coming down.
We didn't get anything what they said.
Once again, the local meteorologist completely wrong.
It's the one job you're allowed to be wrong at and keep it.
And for those of you that are on the podcast right now, we did have a comment. Yes, the stash is back, and I've actually almost completed the song for Ronnie Vaughn, Mustache Cowgirls.
You know what's funny though is
6.9 seconds, baby.
it's 6.9. He won't make quite 8, but
What is it? 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu?
I defy you to show me an email or a message that you got with someone commenting on whether or not you have or don't have a mustache.
Well,
Falconator right now says that stash game is strong.
yeah, that's where it was in
eat
reference
a bag
to.
of dicks, Dan.
Yeah, you will be on the way down to Clayton.
Wait a minute. What's up? What is that?
Oh, that's
Didn't
weird.
we just explain this shit show to him?
We did. Just
Oh, fucking Christ.
he's like Snotch from a Christmas Vacation. Just let him finish, Clark. It's a lot easier.
It is sad. So
Can we introduce our guest?
yeah,
But actually, I did want to say one thing. You and Deadlegs Mustache, both of them are fucking strong. Deadlegs in, and he just
Mustache
posted a
game is
picture
strong.
on Instagram. and
Falconator, don't encourage him, please.
I am going to tell you this.
For God's
Dead Legs
sake.
and I'm going to get Ronnie Vaughn to finish that song, the music to it, before we go to Clayton. I'm going to burn it to a disc. We're going to cue that fucker up. If they use disc, I'll bring a flash drive other forms of media. But Dead Leg and I are going to jam on that thing when we're down there at the distillery.
Before we get to our buddy Dexter, I would just like to recognize our sponsor. And look, if you're going to buy or sell a home, you got to do it before the next 5 years is over, because Greta Thunberg says
Oh, Jesus. Just go on.
all of humanity is going to be wiped out. And when you're in a situation like that where you have to buy or sell, and in this case, you got to do it fast. Well, you got to contact our friend Kerry Wolfangle, because when it comes to real estate, there's only 2 names you can trust, and that's Comey and Shepherd Realtors and our friend Kerry Wolfangle. Her business is built on a relationship of honesty and trust with those she works with. And not only that, but she's been recognized with many, many of the highest awards in the business. And she is the only real estate agent that we recommend, especially in times like this. So once again, Kerry Wolfangle, the phone number is 513-265-3125 or kwolfangle@comey.com. Your road home for the next 5 years.
Thank you, Dano. And Falconator,
Starts
I will
at
tell you this. Tansy growing a mustache, we would be out of fossil fuels by the time Greta gets her premonition for Tansy growing a mustache. When was I on there last? Was that last week?
Couple Friday. A week and a half. Essentially, a week and a couple days ago.
I don't think he shaved in a year and a half, and he had
He said-
nothing.
He said 3 days. I was like, well, that's cute.
Yeah,
Probably since high
Jesus.
school.
So yes, we do need to get Tansy to get one. Dexter could roll one.
Oh, Dexter would look pimp.
He looked like Apollo Creed and Rocky, man. Remember Apollo?
Yes, he would. Holy
with
shit.
the
Holy
American
shit.
flag pants.
What do you think we bring him in?
Let's do it.
Fuck it. Get somebody else to make fun of instead of Dan.
So now I'm the 3rd climate denier on this podcast. And I really hope that it is true and that all this bullshit is over in 5 years, because the way things are going right now, my God. Somebody cue Thanos now.
Cue Thanos.
I'm looking forward to
God. Man, I'm ready for the end of the world.
Dexter, I mean, come on. All of humanity in 5 years. And you, my friend, I'm sure you were probably burning fossil fuels earlier today. So you are partially responsible.
Whoa,
I'm always burning fossil fuels. I'm not down with it. Man, hey, the electricity bill is too high right now.
That's right.
is that
Joe,
why?
Joe Biden says he's brought those prices down.
Is that why you charge money
Where have
admission
you been?
for basement movies?
Yes. Well,
I
give Rob he gets to get in free pass.
thought that was
reason.
terrible. If I bring
For a reason.
you still have that popcorn bucket with a hole in the bottom.
I
think
do.
you said it was
Wow.
butter you were putting on that damn thing, but it didn't
It
taste
wasn't
like
butter.
I didn't think so, man. Didn't taste like it, my man.
And also, y'all will be very disappointed.
What?
I cannot grow a mustache. I am a
What?
39-year-old man who has never grown a mustache.
I thought for sure
son of a
I thought
bitch.
for sure the hair on top of your head quit growing so you could grow a phenomenal mustache. That's not the way it works.
It comes out in other places, but not on my upper lip for some odd reason, bro. I've done everything, man. I've done all
Out of your nose, out of your ears, all that stuff,
out
right?
of my ass. I mean, it just never comes. It just don't. It does not grow. I mean, I was at the barber shop. I just got a fresh haircut the other day. My barber was like, "Hey, man, That's cute. Your little mustache is coming. It was like a couple curled up hairs. I was like, man, cut those shits off, dude.
I went down on
ridiculous.
it, dude. I went down on a dude, and he didn't manscape, so that's what the curlies are.
Oh, wow.
2023, man. Hey, no judgment.
Yeah, you see Carol get out of the car and Clayton, man. He's gonna have a full Fu Manchu going on there.
That's not happening.
I'm
Dexter,
so mad. I wish I could.
Thank you for joining us, my man. I know we've been
appreciate y'all having me.
trying to get this to schedules and everything else. Now that you're off nights, that's a big
Thank
thing.
God. Thank God.
How's the new gig going?
Oh man, it's going good, dude. I'm loving it, man. Loving it. My life has improved. I started on mid shift at 3. So I go in at 3 p.m. and I get off at 1. I started that last week, and I just feel so much better already, man. So much better. My life has already improved. Actually being able to sleep at night, it's wonderful.
That's weird. It's weird, isn't it? It's
yeah,
weird.
I know.
You
So I
can
was
get sleep.
You still look like
definitely.
shit.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from night shift.
If you're working till 1 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be hard for me to have you back on my radio show.
Oh, now, well, I'm off every Monday and Tuesday and every other week.
Oh, well, now, okay. Well, but my radio show's on Wednesdays and Thursday nights. So
well, I don't start till 3 o'clock.
in the afternoon. My radio
late.
show's on 9 to midnight.
Nobody gives a shit.
I do have
Dexter's been a great guest on my show.
I do have to pile on though, because it's not all about Dan's radio show. It's about this podcast.
Dexter was a great guest on my and the last time I had him on, we talked about when you were down at the border. And
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I got so much reaction to that because the stories you told about being there were so compelling and so interesting. And again, I always try to bring it back to, even though we sit here a couple of thousand miles away from the Mexican border, what goes on there affects everyone who lives here in Ohio and where you are in Kentucky. I mean, it gets worse every single day.
That fentanyl is real, my brother. It is definitely real.
See, I like the car fentanyl just because it has
Car fentanyl.
Yeah, it's got a car in it.
And
you know what?
He can buy
If the end of the world comes, it'll all be over anyway. We won't have to.
Oh, it's coming, man. It's coming, man.
Greta said
all
so.
of humanity.
I know you could hear that. Greta said so. So you better. I'm glad you went to church today. You better have done the Lord's work.
Yeah, let me get this
just coming on this podcast in the first few minutes, it's already undone what I did at church. So I'm already back on my way to hell. So.
All right. Well, we have succeeded, fellas. We have succeeded.
I heard you went to church at noon, and Keith said, "Yeah, he won't be ready till 3." I go, "What the hell do they do? An hour catching the snakes, and then an hour playing with them in church, and another hour to recover, look for the end."
I actually grew up in a Pentecostal church, bro, but I refuse to go. I won't do it again. I won't go back. I will not.
Jeez.
Go little family time at the church, man.
I made a promise to my family not to go to church because water started boiling over, and
it's weird.
Apex of the roof started creaking and shit.
Lightning hit it.
And the crucifix with Jesus on it started bleeding. It was some bad.
Turned upside down.
Yeah.
So instead he goes to the Church of the Varsity where we're at right now.
The priest threw up some green vomit and his head went around. He grabbed the letter opener. Thank God somebody stopped him. The altar boy.
So Dex, I wanted to ask you, you were posting, some stuff on Instagram and that regarding, all the DOJ stuff against the, law enforcement, what law enforcement is or what it isn't. I want to get your take on it for anybody that doesn't follow you on Instagram. Just your thoughts there. Cause I mean, you threw some funny videos, but then, some really good ones out there.
No, I think everybody, a lot of guys I work with are afraid to comment or say anything about the things I post because they're afraid because, like, oh, you commenting on, liking on pits of stuff, we got something for you. But, man, because I just don't give a damn at this point, man. The deck has been stacked so high and against us that it's unfair. But at the same time with the DOJ report, man, this is what I'm telling everybody. There's some truth, there's some lies, there's some misinformation in there. For me to say that everything in the DOJ reports is false and completely bullshit would be me being biased. But for anybody to look at this report and say that everything in here is true is being completely ignorant. And that's just, you can't do that, man. The report I've been going over it the last few days, it's so subjective. And you can tell that the people that did this investigation have never been cops, never been in a uniform, don't know what it's like out on the streets. There was one thing I read in there where they were saying officers responded to a call for service of like it was either a burglary in progress or somebody with a gun, and they saw a person matching the description when they got on scene, and the guy had his hands in his pockets. The officers asked the guy to take his hands out of his pockets, and he didn't. And when he didn't, the officers rushed him and took him to the ground. And they said the officers should have de-escalated, and that was excessive force. I'm like, no, that's exactly what the hell they should have done. That's what you do. How many times am I supposed to ask somebody, get your hands out of your pockets when I'm on this call, knowing that there's a crime here and that somebody possibly has a gun? Am I supposed to wait for you to shoot my ass? And that's when I read that, I was like, that's very telling of the fact that these people don't know what they're talking about. You know, there was also a place in there where they were talking about gender bias and police officers there. The report literally said, we don't have any evidence that officers are engaging in gender bias, but we believe that that is the problem. You know, I'm just like, so how are you going to put this in a report saying we don't have evidence, but we're going to convict you of it anyway? It's nonsense, man. A lot of it, but at the same time, I said there's stuff in there that is true. We do have officers that talk to people bad, that don't know how to talk to people. You know, it's not a one size fits all in this place, man. And the way this report, it just makes me so mad because they're painting everybody on Louisville Metro Police Department as scumbags. And here's the best thing, man. In 2016, we were a model city and model police department for 21st century policing. The Democrats in the Obama DOJ and Obama administration said that we were one of the ideal cities for how to police. So you mean to tell me that we were on this track of we're all great. We're doing good things in Louisville. The city loves us and trusts us. And all of a sudden, just a couple of years later, we're all big, stanky bags of shit. Like, come on, man.
It's the narrative.
Like, that doesn't.
I was just going to say that.
It's
the narrative they want to paint.
Well, the thing is, the new mayor in Louisville, he said, you know, this isn't. People are saying this is political. This is a political. I'm like, bro, this is 100% political. When a politician tells you something's not political,
shit, you said. Sorry,
You got a drink.
I'll drink my
I
water.
need a drink, man.
Breezy's been doing it a ton on especially when he has Rob on.
Yeah, when I get on that show, all of a sudden it's 100%, 1,000%, everything else. I know.
That's why we're all drunk shitbags.
Yeah, I got a text to get another drink.
I'll be honest, I have not had a drink in like 4 months, man. So
Good for you.
Congratulations.
I think I'm drinking them for you.
Pussy.
So don't worry about it.
I don't know.
you are what you eat.
It just seems to me that this has
So
been
we
going
call
on.
you Dick now,
It's been going on for so long. When you get people who want a Monday morning quarterback, and it's easy for people to sit around on a star chamber somewhere and decide what is done right and what is done wrong. And it seems to me that the facts of so many police runs get overlooked. That a majority of times the police are going out there because someone else called them. Someone else said, hey, there's something going on here that you need to look at. And I mean, this particular situation may not have been that way, but it just seems that so much of what goes on in a real life situation gets glossed over so they can achieve these political ends. And we have that going on in Cincinnati. We have the Citizens Review Committee here in Cincinnati, which just put out a report on riots that we had in 2020 after the George Floyd stuff. And there are people who complained that so you've got people out there who are breaking store windows, setting fires, doing damage to public and private property. And they complain that while this was going on, police were discourteous to them. And so there was a finding that police officers were in the wrong. And now they're saying that, oh, well, when you have situations like this, you have to cite people and we can't have mass arrests. Well, wait a minute. You've got, we never had here in Cincinnati huge damage associated with the George Floyd riots. And that's because the police officers did what they were supposed to do. But now you have this Citizens Complaint Authority coming out 3 years after the fact and saying, oh, well, we need recommendations for the way you need to do things differently. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Bro, those civilian review boards are full of crap. Imagine, I've been a cop 13 years, but imagine me walking down to my local hospital And hey, I want to sit on the board of doctors here. What are your qualifications? None.
I am
But
Dr.
I just want to be on the board.
I am Dr.
I'm very
Pitts.
passionate. I'm very passionate about medicine, but I have no training, and I'd like to sit on the board and critique you all.
Right.
They're gonna laugh your ass out the building. Policing is literally the only job where people are like, you know what? We're gonna critique these guys and tell them how to exactly do their job.
That is excellent. That is maybe one of the best analogies I've ever heard. I have absolutely no knowledge of this field, but yet I'm going to sit in judgment of those who do this stuff every day.
Well,
they have no job knowledge, but they have feelings, and that feelings are everything.
That's very important
right now, dude.
Speaking of feelings, Dan, will you feel in your bucket and grab me a Bud Light, please?
With Rob being former law enforcement, and obviously on the legal side of it now,
on the dark side,
and it's the same thing, with the fire service. Everybody has SOPs and SOGs, but none of those will 1,000%. Screw it. I'll say it 100%. Tell you every how to handle every situation. So there's gray areas, but so depending on where you're at, you're either procedures, SOPs, or SOGs guidelines. But you have like you're saying, you have these people who have never done the job telling you how to do your job.
Thank you, hon.
And trying to put a cookie cutter situation or an answer into a non-cookie cutter situation.
Another thing, it's driving me crazy. So they're talking about the racial disparities, like in this report, and how we're unfairly targeting Black people and we're citing them more and other stuff. And I'm like, hey, I understand what you are saying, where it's coming from. Now, I'm not going to sit here and deny and say, are there officers on the police department that are, probably racist and biased towards Black people? Of course, they're humans. That you're not going to escape that anywhere. The problems that they're quote unquote uncovering here are problems and issues you're going to find at any organization in America, not just policing. But man, what they were doing is they're putting out these numbers, but they're not putting out in-depth information behind it, and they're just kind of blanketing this and saying that we're all targeting Black people and that we only target the Black community. Well, this is the main problem with what we're having in America right now, is that we're not allowed to say things like, well, maybe there's more police in the Black community because there's more issues in the Black community. There's more crime and there's more violence.
And that's what I was going to say, Dex.
So why am I going to put out a violent police task force into an area of town, even though if it might be majority white, but if there's no violent crime, why am I going to put officers in that area when there's nothing to find and nothing to stop?
Correct.
Why? That would be a waste of resources.
And I was going to
put those officers down. Where's the crime at? Unfortunately, it's in the Black community. I'm going to put those officers in that community to go stop violent crime.
When they're looking,
what else people want us to do. Now you're profiling. Now you're getting.
Now we're Yep. I'm Uncle Tom and the soft shoeing on here and tap dancing for the white folks, apparently.
But isn't it ridiculous though? All those old arguments keep getting recycled time and time and time again, and people keep buying into it, and I just don't understand why. And then, like you said, it's been well known for decades now that for whatever reason, Blacks are disproportionately represented when it comes to those who commit crime, and it's not a slam on the entire Black population, because I think we have a pretty good understanding that it is a minority of that community, and if you get those individuals, that small minority, off the streets like they should be taken off the streets, then crime in that area tends to go down, and that cause and effect has been shown to happen all over the country repeatedly. It works, but yet we have to deny that it works because you have to have the argument of systemic racism.
Hey, Dexter, real quick, Jefferson County, what's the demographic there? Do you know? Oh, we lost Dex. I can see his mouth.
I see him. I see his mouth moving.
Up there. I don't know why that just went off.
The audio. There we go.
Jefferson County is like
difficult.
I was going to say this
wasn't my fault.
This interview got really good if we muted him. Can we mute Dan too?
Wow, Dex, you can't scare me like that because this is new to us. I thought it was me.
No. Something happened on my end. I don't know what it was, but maybe. So Jefferson County, from what I'm believing and seeing, it's about 70% white, like 24% black.
Okay.
So honestly, that matches America.
Yeah.
Black people only make up 13% of the population
I
in
thought it was
America.
13 or so. Yeah, 12 points.
So it scales. You know, it really does scale, yo. But I mean, unfortunately, like I saw a statistic last night reading this article, but 71% of the homicide victims in the city are black.
Yeah. It's sad. And what I was going to say before Dan cut me off and interrupted me, I would agree with the investigation, the Monday morning quarterbacking, where the majority of calls maybe are in that black area, or the numbers leading towards blacks, and they portray it as you guys hyper focusing on blacks and the black community, but they don't go into the actual report. What is it? I mean, what is the underlying call? What is the underlying report for? And I think that's a big disservice. They just want the numbers, and you can pop those stats up and mix them and match them any way you want, but they don't get into the meat and potatoes of the call, of the complaint, why, that type of shit. We see, all right, 3 black people arrested. All right. It was, a child custody issue. Who gives a fuck? And we're going to get our numbers up and shit like that. And now we're going to blast the cops, the model department.
Yep. Well, there was a thing in the report. They were talking about this officer that made all these certain traffic stops, and most of the people he stopped were black, and it was like 98% of his traffic stops were on black people, but they didn't put into consideration that he works in a black neighborhood. So who in the hell is he supposed to stop? It's like
yeah, he's supposed to. I don't get it. One white guy that makes the wrong turn on the way to work.
Man, I made up this. I put up this little meme I made. Kind of it said pretty much how I viewed the DOJ report. It said, DOJ, all you white officers are racist, and you are only targeting black people because you're horrible racist people. And then I put under their white officers' response, well, how about we're just going to leave the black community, and since y'all think I'm racist, I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. The DOJ response to that is, you're leaving the community because you hate black people. Yeah, racist, you don't want to be around them. You want to see them die. It's just like white officers look in confusion, like, well, there's no winning for these guys, man. There's really not.
And that's where I was going to go.
Do your job, you're going to get fired. If you don't do your job, you're racist. It's like
you've worked with obviously some great partners over your career, and yeah, I mean, you go into work scared for your job every day, because if you make one right decision, you're screwed. You make one wrong decision.
You say white decision?
Right.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
Right.
I mean, that would screw him if you did that.
We need to get Robin to
Hey, Krista.
That's scared. I mean, that's scary to go into work not knowing whether you're going to be brought in front of a panel and put on administrative leave or whatever. And then you go into, and I know you had gotten there like just right after, the Breonna Taylor stuff, but you go through that stuff where rocks thrown at you, and you have to, you're human. You're going to react one way or another. So you go into work and you're scared every day. And it's not, it's not just, the white police officers, the black police officers, the Asian police officers. You do one wrong thing and somebody can now, because we're in a society that, oh, you hurt my feelings, so now you are going against me directly and my people. It's so stupid and ignorant.
Everybody's got biases. I mean,
everybody's got biases,
white,
bro.
yellow.
Nobody's perfect, man.
Nobody. And Dex, I'm not racist. I fucking hate.
God, with it. When it starts with that, it's about to...
he just identified himself, didn't he? Dex?
I'm not racist. I hate
that's a kiss of death right there, brother.
I hate fucking white people. I hate yellow people, green people. I fucking hate Dan. Whatever
he's ready for the end of the world, according to Greta Thunberg. I'm right there with you.
Here's the deal.
All of humanity can suck.
It's a lot of there are racist ass people on every demographic, every color. There are racist assholes, and there are fucking assholes. There are people you want to associate. I'm sure there's black people in your community that you fucking hate. Dex, are you a racist for hating that black?
There's no black people in my community where I live. No, I'm joking. There's like 3 of us.
Racist son of a bitch.
Do you guys go to meetings once a month?
Yes, HOA meetings.
HOA.
No, but you get
Oh
what I'm
my
saying. I mean,
God.
there are people out there that you just generally hate. There are.
There are people that just suck in
And
life,
it's
bro.
not a racist thing. It's I don't like you. It's not because you're black. It's because you're a fucking asshole.
But
Or
that's the thing, bro. We black people in this country have been conditioned to believe that we are only the victims and we cannot be racist. If you ask somebody that's black that does not think like you ask them, is it possible for black people to be racist? They will tell you, no, it
Nope.
is not possible for black people to be racist, because in order to be a racist and to be discriminate and to be to discriminate against people, you have to have power, and black people have never had power because of economics and slavery.
you
I'm
guys
like, so
got
you're
the White
saying
House, man, you didn't even change that fucking name. I mean, hell, you had it for 8 years.
Yep. No, Obama don't count.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Obama don't count.
You know, I love my brown people in the kitchen here, man. They call me racist. It's like, fuck that. It's a country, you dick. It's xenophobic. It's not racist.
Well, and that's the thing. It's not illegal to be racist. It's frowned upon. I don't like racist people.
I don't
But at
run.
the same time, I don't care if somebody calls me a nigger. I really don't give a damn. Because I tell
do
you, you have
that.
to look at the person calling you the word. I'm looking at if like a homeless dude. You know how many homeless bums in Louisville had get away from me, nigger cop. I'm like, oh wow, okay, yeah. Oh boy, yeah, you're really superior, buddy.
Yeah.
I step over his body as he's laying in the gutter, and
Wait a minute.
You're gonna lose sleep over that, aren't you?
So
Yeah.
by your definition, he is not racist because he's not in a position of power.
But that's the thing.
Bridge.
If you look at the education on it, white people, no matter your economic status as a white person in this country, you always have power. You always got the advantage, no matter what. Even the homeless, because just being white gives you the advantage.
I probably won't be alive in 40 years. You might. You're younger and you're not drinking, so obviously you're trying
I'm
to
like
take
a diabetic, bro. I doubt it.
You probably also got some other fucking preconditioned diseases, but nonetheless, in 40 years, I don't think it's going to be a racial thing. I think it's going to be a socioeconomic disparity, and I do believe there is going to be an economic people, all of them, regardless of race, looking down at people without money and just fuck you. We're going to the Gatsby's place today, and Gatsby's black, and we're going to hang out with the Gatsby's and the Changs and the fucking Smiths and all other people. I do believe socioeconomic is going to be the next discriminatory aspect of America.
I think we're already there. Yo, I'm telling you, man.
We're climbing.
The only reason the media is only feeding us this racial bullshit because, man, people don't believe it. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people believe it. But there's a small fragment of our population here in America that believe this racist dumb stuff, bro. It's literally, I'm around white people all day. All the time. I don't. He said that. Y'all show was good to me now. I appreciate it. But the thing is, though, I don't get approached, man. Like, I live in a majority white neighborhood. I have yet to wake up to a cross burning in my yard.
Well, have you ever woken up to the police in your yard?
Never. Okay. I don't break the law.
Well, Joe Mixon lives in a predominantly white neighborhood over here, about a mile down the street. And the cops were called to his house the other day. We were asking whether you were in town again. Last time you were in town, man, there was shooting at 8 Mile.
That unsolved homicide was not me, bro.
It wasn't a homicide, Holmes. You missed. You shot sideways. You fucked that one up.
we actually did make the joke though when Mixon came into the news. You know, our well, I don't want to say star running back, but our big running back.
Yeah,
he comes into the news. And immediately me and Rob go, where was Dexter?
Let's get him on the show to make sure he's not locked up.
For anybody who doesn't know, it's an inside joke.
I need you to send me your GPS coordinates for this night. Where's your black ass?
November 7th, 2022. Dexter's up with Tansy and them. It was the prequel episode to Lieutenant Colonel Scheller. And we haven't had a shooting in Anderson Township in some years. And of course, the night Dex up, he said, I'm going back to Louisville to work tomorrow. There's a fucking shooting 500 feet down Beachmont Avenue. And everybody's like, Dex, did you really go back to work? What the hell? It was a drive-by.
What are the odds?
And for the record, Dexter brought it up.
He did, actually. He brought it up on his podcast, too. I listened to it.
But that's the thing, bro. Like, we should be able to laugh about this stuff, man. But we've gotten so sensitive. We can't joke about anything. And I tell people today, man, what the media companies need to do, just tap into all the TVs across the country and cell phones and play Blazing Saddles for everybody.
Wow.
Grab your favorite drink, smoke a joint, whatever you do, whatever you do, man, and just kick back and chill the hell out.
I'd love to go
man.
out. I'd love to go out with you and your boys, man. I'd be the only white guy in that mix, man. And you'd be looking at me to levitate some goddamn napkin dispenser like fucking power. I'd be cool with it. I'd sit there and concentrate trying to do it. Fuck it. Let's see what happens.
You said my boys, but man, I'm telling you, bro, man, I don't really have a crew because literally I'm a dad. All I do is hang out with my family, man. But dude, my
charging money to watch movies in their own fucking house.
Man, my crew is so eclectic, bro. I mean, my homies from the Border Patrol, man. It's me, Stu, a giant white dude from like outskirts of Philly. Johanny Sanchez, he's Dominican. Thomas Sanchez, he's a Mexican, but he looks white. Then we have Lorena, and like she's a short Hispanic female, bro. That's our crew. It's like we're so eclectic.
Are you sure Sanchez is not Chinese or Japanese or something?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
pretty sure.
You can never be 100%.
You don't want a profile, man. God damn it,
but Dex, but what you just made, I think a very important point when you talk about the conversation that we're having right now, because the elites would look at this, and by the elites, I mean the Obamas of the world and all these college professors and all the pundits that you see on MSNBC and CNN all the time, and these people that put out videos. And the narrative now is gravitating towards this notion that, hey, look, if you're a white person, and this is stuff that's being taught in schools now, if you're a white person, you're racist. You can't help it. It's in your blood. It's in your genes. And you need to, go through certain exercises to, exercise this from your being. And this is the narrative that is being.
You're going to be exercising it from my being on the way to Cleveland.
But this is the narrative that's being promoted now across this elitist spectrum. And so when you look at the conversation we're having now, well, they would fault you, they would fault us, they would say, oh, it's not genuine, it's not real, it does. They're not.
They paid that Negro to be on that show and say those things.
Right? You're exactly right. But to my way of thinking, these are the kind of conversations
we got our tab picked.
That if we had more conversations like this, and this is, I think, the majority, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I really do believe the majority of people in this country feel the way that we feel about it. But there's that small elitist minority that needs to keep up the racial tension and keep it stirred up because, well, that's where their bread is buttered, and they've been cashed in on this for a long time.
That's right. United we stand, divided we fall. Well, actually, I'll tell you, I got a good Border Patrol story about implicit bias. So when I first heard of, implicit bias, it's where you're racist, but you don't really know it. Like you're afraid of a black person, but you don't really know it, man. So when I was in the Border Patrol Academy,
I just hear a song playing in my head.
So we were at the firing range, and we were having a judgment shoot day where you look at two targets and it's a shoot, don't shoot target. And you got to shoot the target that's a threat. So bizarre fact about the Border Patrol is like 80, 90% Hispanic. Like
I was gonna ask that a little bit earlier.
Bro, it's insane. It's mostly Hispanic people, man. So my class is literally probably 80% Hispanic. You got I'm like 1 or 2, 3 black dudes, and everybody else is pretty much white. So we're on the range, and there's the shoot, no shoot target. I've been a cop for at that point for like 10 years. The targets pop up. I see Tyrone with his bag holding his liquor and his do-rag on and his wife beater. I'm like, yo, what's up, Tyrone? And I see the white dude in the photo with the machine gun. I pop the white dude. Of course, because he's a threat. Now, everybody else in class, Tyrone did not survive that no shoot judgment day. They shot his black ass to death. and so I tell people, you know what? Implicit bias, it's real, but I don't think it's a real big problem, honestly, because I think everybody's like that. We gravitate towards people who look like us. We really, it's natural. We look towards people like, man, who are you going to be more comfortable with? You walk into a room full of black people and white people, you're a black dude, you're probably going to go over to the black people because that's what you know. And that's not wrong. It's just the way we were designed and built, man. Me personally, I'm mingling with everybody in there because I've literally grown up around everybody. I grew up in the military. I've been in the military.
Piss everybody off in there. Trust me, there's not going to be a white, black, red, yellow, green group that's saying that motherfucker over there is an asshole. So everybody be pissed off because I'm mingling with everybody.
That's how I am, bro. And that's how it's supposed to be, man. But people get into these classes like they just want to be around people that look like them because it's comfortable. And at the same time, because we're in that echo chamber, people don't want to hear the truth in the echo chamber. Are you going to get it slapped on the back and pat on the back like, yeah, you got to show them honkies what's up, bro? You know, but I'm like, you have to get out of the echo chamber, dude. You have to. And the truth is, there's things in the black community that have to be addressed. And the biggest issue we're having now in America with the black community is this. And when it comes to policing, the black community and the politicians are expecting police to fix the community and the problem. And that's not how it's going to get solved.
That's not the answer.
You put police in the black community, there's going to be crime. Take police out of the community, there's still going to be crime. You're saying that the police are the majority problem in the black community. I'm like, no, the problem in the black community is the black community. The black community in America, and I'm not saying the entire black community. I'm talking about there's a subculture in the black community, the hood ghetto culture, man. And that's not most black people I know. Most black people I know, we are all hardworking, pay our taxes, and want to be left alone like everybody else, bro. But there's a segment of the black community where everything's racist, and these white pigs is out here to get us. And the truth is, that's not the truth, man. That's not the case. When you have disproportionate amount of young men in your community being killed, and you're saying it's the police fault, but the people killing the young black men are young black men. The black community has to address that problem. It is a cultural problem that has to be solved. Dude, the black community has to change where it's at right now from, I think it's like 80-90% of black children are born into single parent homes. That's not a police issue. That is a cultural problem.
Cultural social issue. Yeah.
It's a cultural social issue, man. But they're throwing it out. Well, they put the police in these communities to just take all our young black men to jail. Like, no, they're there because there's crime. And the thing is, man, I've been doing this 13 years, bro. I've seen it goes back and forth to where you're over policing us because we're black. So we stop policing. Then all of a sudden everybody's like, where y'all at? We don't see y'all. Y'all just want to see us kill each other. So
and why do you
back into the community start policing? It's just like y'all kill. Like, oh my God.
Why do you want more money? Why do you want more money from us, even though you're not in the community? But you didn't want us there. So we pulled some people back, and guess what? It got worse.
Well, and that's the thing. All these communities across the country that, a couple of years ago were calling for defunding of police and reimagining police. Well, guess what? The ones that actually tried it, well, they've gone back to funding police because they found out that when you do that, you turn your town into a living hellhole.
And it's not even. It's not so much a black thing. It's in everything. I mean, single mom, single parent households, etc. The numbers are up. I mean, that's going
to be the norm for all of America soon. Man. Men are not welcome to this country.
No, and here's the thing, though. There is one foundation that I know of that does everything and anything they can for that. The Varner Foundation for Children and Families. We want to take a moment to talk about foster care. We believe those who open their hearts and their homes to take care of kids are among the most special of our friends and neighbors. It can be a strain on anyone's budget, and sadly, more than half give up in their first year of fostering because the resources just aren't there. It chokes me up every time I read this. That's where the Varner Foundation comes in. A 501c3 nonprofit, the Varner Foundation enables foster care agencies to help in a hurry. A car repair, a prescription, an extra bed, even a new pair of shoes. And many times a single phone call gets it done. 100% of the money donated to the Varner Foundation goes to the mission, period. You heard that right, 100%. I still haven't fixed that. You can help make a difference in a child's life today. Donate to the Varner Foundation. That's the varnerfoundation.org, varnerfoundation.org. And a couple follow-ups. One, I'm going to fix it to 99.9% of the money goes instead of the hundo.
We could just say all instead of 100.
Well, you know what we could also say is all of your contribution that you have not written a fucking check for at $102.50.
I'm just saying. You could say all of.
Do you not have checks? I mean, get fucking ATMs right here. I'll pay the
$3. There's no black baby in this advertisement.
No, they're all black. Right? Oh shit! I'm just looking on the TV now. Holy smokes!
What the heck is going on here?
Oh, see, all right.
Go out there and adopt yourselves a black child to make his life better. Go ahead.
We're gonna take that to the
no,
Varner
I think
Foundation.
The one on the right.
Well, what about you talk about that and there was
racist,
a story.
She's light skinned.
there was a story in the news this past week where Colin Kaepernick, of all people,
And actually, before you go any further, Falconator commented that everything Dex was saying, Falconator said someone should tell Colin Kaepernick that. So it's funny it's rolling. He didn't even know that was there.
Dex, did you see that story about Kaepernick? What he said about his adoptive parents?
God, yes, man.
He threw them under the bus. I mean, they gave him the best life he could have possibly hoped for. He became a professional athlete. It was at the top of his game for at least a couple of years anyway. And now he's throwing them under the bus, saying that they are racist. I mean,
ungrateful, light-skinned motherfucker.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, this guy had every advantage growing up, and now he's finding fault with those who, in his early years, helped him out in unimaginable ways.
Well, this is also the guy that every offseason contacts all 32 football teams saying, "Hey, I'm ready to play," and he hasn't played in 5 years.
And then he's got the nerve to compare the NFL Combine to slavery.
To slavery, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you serious? I can promise you my ancestors were not volunteering to be in the cotton fields of Mississippi. I promise my mom and dad were not picking cotton, hoping to get selected by a cotton picking team. For a franchise,
for millions
of dollars.
Yes.
I was like, bro, this is
of millions of dollars every year.
We've got all right. The next event is the 40-yard cotton pick. All right. So go ahead.
Hey, Dex, let me ask you this question. I don't know. You probably haven't watched it, but Stanford came out with a list of banned words and shit. And we went over it on one of the podcasts. One of them was you can't beat a dead horse. It promotes violence towards animals.
I've heard,
you can't say the word retarded. You know what I did not notice on that list, and I just thought about it this week? Human resources. Does that not harken back to the days of slavery? Hey, this is Sylvester down at the Johnson plantation. I need some of your human resources. How in the fuck is that phrase not banned by some woke ass institution? Human fucking resources. Dude, what is this? A slave auction? Where's Key and Peele?
I was gonna say, do you remember the Key and Peele episode?
Or the term master bedroom?
Yeah. I mean, what the fuck is this shit? Human resources. Let's do a change.org petition. Fuck these cops.
Now, if they would have said massa bedroom, I'd be like, I understand.
What you say, massa?
Massa bedroom.
Okay.
Not master, massa.
You know what? My first job was a intern baiter, and I moved up to masturbator very quickly on the boat dock down at Cumberland. But the whole human resources thing perturbs me that it is not outlawed with some fucking snowflake white university like Penn State, Stanford. Give me a fucking Ivy Leaguer, all white institution except for the freebies from China and shit that everybody's beating the fuck out of in the quad because they're Chinese. And it's not racist if you beat up a foreign country person. It's xenophobic. Fuck them all, man.
Yeah, they changed the terms.
Yeah, we're profiling this shit. Yeah, fuck you.
Like
I don't even order a sizzling walk
from, man. It's just you got to think who are the people that are co-signing on this. Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. My wife's job. I'm not gonna say where she works at, but they had this thing where it was called the Black Room. It's like a chat room they all go into, and somebody complained that it was called the Black Room, and so they no longer call it that. And I'm just like,
what do they call it now?
Well, that was something stupid, man. Some racial neutral race. Thing. I'm like, man, something's dumb, bro. Like, come on, man.
You know, you can't call it the pink room either. That's derogatory towards women.
Women, yeah, pink.
I mean, fuck.
The champagne room
anymore. But the human resources, Dex, I seriously wanted to bring that up with you because it does harken back to those days, man. I mean, what the fuck? All these departments, all these companies need to change the name of this fucking
HR
department. Yeah, HR.
I do like KFC. It's not Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's just KFC now.
Oh, you got a fucking white clam master on the box. Are you shitting me? Where's his imperial wizard fucking clothes?
And they said the colonel stole that recipe from a slave named Jubilee. So
did Jubilee work?
Is that a true story?
Jubilee
That's what I've heard. I don't know, but I also saw that in the movie. So
Jubilee worked in human resources with Django, man.
Bro, so we have slave. There's actually still slave shacks that are standing in Louisville. So there's a plantation, and they hired me. It was during the 2020 protest.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, I swear to God, yo. It's a plantation here in Louisville, and it's in a high populated area, rich white area, yo. and it's by the mall.
Did they make
And
you
they're
hold a
literally
banner?
the slave shacks are still standing. And so during the 2020 protests, they were doing a podcast about this, and they hired officers to come out there and watch the slave shacks and watch the property. And I remember driving down this long stretch of road, like, man, and I'm just coming up to this big old mansion. I'm like, boy, that's Massa House right there. And then, hey, right just to the left, got them little old mini slave shacks. Like, man, I'm sure the ghost of my ancestors was like, look at this sellout nigga right here. Look at
Christ. You know what you should do next time is wear a fucking jockey uniform and bring a lantern. I mean, what is my gig, man? Standing at the end of the
I'm gonna get the
you racist sons of bitches, my human resources.
I want to ride up on. I want to ride up like Django in a pink and that blue uniform, that blue outfit, dog.
We got to get you on that.
Django.
Who's this nigga on this name?
Are you going with us to Clayton?
Clayton?
Yeah.
Are you in North Carolina?
Yeah, 11, 12, 13, man.
I am
Oh,
not.
fuck you. You can get off. Just say, hey, it's racist. If you
I wish I could, man. I got
Make
some
an
other
intern,
financial obligations I got to take care of this year.
well,
I know if you get them to pass reparations before then, I will be there.
I'm buying a hotel room.
Reparations.
I'll be there. If you get reparations passed, give me my black ass.
I'm not in the Commonwealth. I'm not in the Commonwealth. You guys can't even make yourself a fucking state. Oh, shit, Commonwealth. We're a fucking Commonwealth. We're not.
Kentucky is a commonwealth.
I just fucking said that, Dan. Jesus
It is.
Christ. that was
Hey,
the
listen.
point of the
I
conversation.
just work in Kentucky. I don't live in Kentucky
Fuck.
anymore.
We've got 46 states. That's all we got in the United States. Everybody keeps saying 50. Fuck that. We got 46.
Commonwealth don't count.
And we got 4 Commonwealths in a fucking territory. Those cocksuckers can't even survive a hurricane, the internet and shit. What does Puerto Rico give us?
Well,
I mean, seriously.
then we help them.
Beautiful women. We
Water.
need Puerto Rico.
Dex, I need you to explain to the viewers / listeners of the Dexter Pitts movie theater and how this operation happened.
That's a fucking A, man.
That is one of the greatest.
They got an ATM in the foyer of the house.
It's like a church.
It's 10% fucking usage.
And I'm the pastor.
I've never laughed so fucking hard watching that. Oh my.
Oh, shit. Your wife's charging the fucking kids.
Kids, bro. Yeah, man. So my wife, she's very creative, dude. Like when I tell you, she is all about like entertaining people, and especially our kids, yo. So
And making
very
money.
nice. Yeah, well, it's my money, so it's coming back to where it came from.
You give the kids.
And we haven't been invited to Pitts compound, so I can't say.
And so-
That's because we're white. We're white.
Yeah.
Rick.
And so my wife, she's like, hey, we're gonna do a movie night. And so she goes out and buys a bunch of snacks, and then she has these popcorn buckets, and then she has these fake tickets, and the kids come down the stairs, and she's standing there with like, hey, what movie would you like to watch? And the kids give my wife the fake money, and they walk into the basement / movie theater, and then they walk over to the concession stand to these overblown prices for candy and snacks. And they can only have so much of them because we don't want them to have a bunch of candy, yo. So my wife gives them the money. Well, my kids have the money. They give my wife the money for the snacks that they want. They pay for them. And then they go and watch the movie.
We're coming down for a movie, man.
That is awesome.
We pick the movie. Can we pick it?
But in the video that I saw, she was like, "Well, that ain't enough for that."
Yeah.
And this boy was like, "Well, I want that." She was like, "Well, you ain't got enough money."
But it's right there. Like, yeah.
Tell the
Inflation
kids, man.
prices, man. Inflation, bro.
I think
Supply chain.
I think you're teaching them right though. Like, all right, so here's the value of $1. You can have 1 box of Sour Patch Kids, but you can't have any popcorn.
That is great. That is fantastic.
Dex, I am coming down for a movie. We're going to do a road trip once, and I'm bringing a shit ton of stuff for the kids, man.
You got to get the neighborhood kids. You got to get the neighborhood kids over there.
I can't have white people giving my little black babies free handouts, bro.
Whoa, man. Whoa.
You're teaching against me. You teaching.
It's called a hand up, Dexter. Not a
he knows a handout. He knows a handout.
No, I was gonna bring fun dips and shit down, man. Those things are awesome.
Man,
straight sugar and shit.
And then we're leaving. We're giving them all the fun tips and we're leaving. Hey, Dex,
you're taking them with you. You're taking them with you.
That's fine.
Bro, I always teach my son about money, man. Like I want them to understand the time and value of money and what work is. So my son started Little League here.
Did you
So
tell
we
him
had to
about $20 at a strip club? It's only 2 songs and they're 10 seconds each.
That's a later
I mean,
lesson.
that's a fucking.
In
you don't
about
start
10
there,
years. In about 10 years.
Well, and we don't have 10 years left. Didn't you
That's
listen
right.
to the warning
That's
that we
right.
had?
We only got 5.
Falconator said that it should be Blazing
All
Saddles.
of humanity.
Oh, it will be Blazing Saddles. In the original version, not the redacted version.
Right.
But yeah, but dude, I took my son to Academy Sports to get him some stuff for Little League. And so when we paid and the price came out to like $80, you know, and I talked to my son and I was like, you know how much this stuff cost? He was like $80. I was like, you know how much time that is that daddy has to go to work to pay for that?
Yeah.
That's like, you know,
Good
2
point.
hours of work for dad.
That's
That
like
means
2
so when
minutes
I
at the ATM, Dad.
yeah.
I remember my dad told me that shit. It doesn't just come out. You got to work to put it in there.
Whoa.
They
You know what I fucking
Whoa,
meant.
whoa,
All right,
whoa.
we can go there,
They got a
asshole.
pretty good hourly wage down there in that police department, man.
Rob, show me on the doll where your dad touched you.
Oh my
Fucker.
God. Nicely played, and it couldn't have happened to a better son of a bitch.
I'm definitely coming down. I was like, all right, we're the white neighborhoods with 1 or 2 blacks in them. That's the fucking neighborhood I'm going.
I thought you said you weren't a doctor. I mean, come on.
Dexter,
Only on weekends, and I only do prostate exams, bro.
you may not be a doctor, but you're my fucking hero after that one. Hey, do me a
I
favor.
freaking
Real
love
quick.
y'all guys. I wish I could have came up in person, man. I bet, dude. I
won't
want to
do
go.
it.
I definitely want to get back to the varsity.
Do me a favor.
Well, now that daylight's later, he can be up here.
I'll take it.
Yeah, man. My schedule's a lot more open
Yeah.
now, bro. I can plan my life a lot better because I'm off every Monday, Tuesday, and every other weekend I'm off. So it's going to be so much easier for me to definitely come up that way, man.
Now,
You're
your wife
going to
will
be a
love that.
recurring guest. There's no doubt. I mean, I think we created a good friendship when you came up here. We didn't know you from Adam, but it was like we knew you for 20 years. You know, sitting here hanging
and
out.
until that random shooting just down the street.
And then we're like, well, shit, we don't know that guy.
Dude, we covered for you. Don't worry about it, man. We covered. No, it wasn't him.
Yeah,
He was with us all
No
night.
one's counting.
We didn't bring him in. We didn't bring him in to Anderson.
He wasn't one of ours.
No, you are always welcome. Do me a favor and tell anybody that's listening or watching, where they can find your podcast and just a brief synopsis of what you're doing.
So you can follow me on Instagram at IamPits1, the number 1. Also, the I Am Pits podcast, man. I tackle, man, there's pretty much nothing I don't tackle. A lot of policing, law enforcement stuff, but also a little bit of politics, and I'm throwing a little bit of comedy with it, and I just kind of give my 2 cents, man. There's also my book, I Am Pits, Memoirs of the American Patriot. My whole goal with the book was to show that people, the Black experience in America is not one size fits all. We all got an experience, we all got a story, and we all got a struggle, man. But then, I'm just trying to bring a little light to the world, man. Bring a little laughter and have some hard conversations. But hard conversations don't have to be hard. If you're talking with people that are good people, and the problem I think we have is people assume that people are pieces of shit and scumbags, and some are. But man, most people don't. Man, most people just want to laugh and get along, dude. And that's why I do my podcast, man. And I just like people think I'm not trying to be an influencer. God, I hate that term. I'm not trying to be like this big online guy. It's a hobby for me. I love it because I get to meet awesome people like you guys. Man, it's fun for me. It gives me something else to do and focus on besides just being a cop and wallowing in the muck of humanity every day. So man, it's fun, man.
Dex, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Your book, man, when you were up here, you got me a copy of your book. You also got a copy of it for a friend of mine who's going through some shit.
Yeah.
He loved it. I loved it. For anybody that's looking for a great read, to see a perspective that you may not have seen before or heard about before from somebody else, I Am Pits is a great fucking book. Get it. I assume it's on Amazon or other online avenues.
On Amazon. Yep. And I just put out the audiobook. So man, the audiobook is out. It's available.
You're not reading
Good
it, are
for
you?
you. Good for you.
I did read it.
Well, it's better than Carol reading it.
Ha!
The time
My
she
name is Dexter Pitts.
No,
This is my book. This be my book.
Shut the fuck up.
This be my book.
No, hey, Dex, that'd be good, man. Because where I was going next was
Are we going to get in trouble for laughing at that? Are we not
Sadly-
supposed to laugh at that?
sadly I've fallen asleep listening to your fucking podcast before, not because it was boring, because your fucking voice is like Marvin Gaye just getting in there, man. I mean,
I fall asleep.
I hate my voice, man.
I fall asleep on the way to work listening.
yeah, I had to put my dick between two couch cushions. I kept getting hard when I fell asleep. Listening to you, baby. Come on, just do a little Marvin for us.
Bro, if you would have heard my voice last week when I got
good at
sick,
all.
dude, that joint was deep and raspy and smooth. I was like, my
For,
God.
for anyone that's watching or listening
Please
right
call
now,
me and whisper later.
I will tell you that the first paragraph,
I'm ready.
the first paragraph, the first chapter of that book is as compelling as anything that you will ever read. And I say that to give you props because I know this is I Am Pitts is your first book, but the writing,
First one he writ and read.
I'm saying the writing and the intensity in that first chapter is as good as anything I've ever read. And I'm not saying I've read a ton of books.
No.
I've read a lot of books, but
It is good.
that first chapter is just as compelling and gripping as anything you will ever
Well,
read. And
Dan, not to
congratulations
really
on it.
fucking cockblock the motherfucker on his book, but the first chapter is compelling as shit. So is the second, third, fourth, and all the
I'm
way to
just
the
saying,
end.
I'm
I mean,
just saying.
fucking A, you're just carving out one. Hey,
But no, I'm just saying,
ladies and gentlemen,
that
my name's
first-
Dan Carroll. Read the first fucking chapter, and that's it. You don't have to have anything else.
That's the essence of a good book, that it grabs you from the very first sentence and draws you in, and that's what his book does.
And it continues to
And
do
I'm
that
just
each
saying,
chapter and
and
throughout
I've congratulated him on that
every paragraph.
before, and I'm just making that point that
Okay.
that's why we tell people to go out and get the book, because and just for that reason alone is worth it.
It's a
I've had some racist stuff happen with me with my book. So, I'm selling books and somebody's like, you wrote this? I'm like, yeah, I wrote this all by yourself.
Oh, for
Fucking
God's sake.
like, yes, all by myself, bro.
And I
I know what he's thinking, like, your big black ass ain't write this book.
Who was it that wrote?
Oh my God.
Oh,
I know.
I have been following like your journey of trying to get the Audible book and like all the jumping through the hoops, and
it
then
was a nightmare.
when you posted, you're like, all right, we're finally there. But like explain just real quick. I mean, just a little bit of like how much. All right, so you wrote the book, it's published, and now you want to put it Audible to where you're reading it. Like what hoops did you have to jump through with that? Because
Man.
I mean, I'm following it, and you're like, I'm almost there, and then it seemed like forever, and then boom, you nailed it.
Man, so the biggest thing is I tell people you have to find a team of people to help you. And man, I know how to do audio stuff, but I don't know how to do audio stuff to the point to where I know decimals and it has to be at this optic and this thing and that, and just I know how to read and paste an audiobook because I listen to so many. Yeah, but I mean,
Right.
I literally took my microphone and I went into our bedroom closet because of all the clothes and the
I
acoustics
always
are so
knew
much
you
better.
were in the closet. God, that's
Trapped
a-
in the closet. It's in the closet.
It's called
Yeah. But I was in that closet, man, and I work, and I'm like, I work, and so it's like I'm trying to find a balance between, hey, I'm gonna stop
your
here.
wife?
Oh, she hated it, man.
No,
She
did
was like, "When am I
you
getting my
tell her
closet back?"
before you were going in the closet to read the book in the closet, or did she just walk in one day and you're in there fucking making noise?
No, she knew what was going on. Yeah.
Okay.
She knew what was going on. And the worst part is, bro, like it would be a perfect day, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna knock out 2 chapters, and I go in there and start reading. Chapter 1. All you're hearing in the background is somebody cutting the grass. I'm like, God damn it, stop cutting no grass on this beautiful day. Or there'd be a plane flying over you. I'm like, come on, man. So I would read, stop, stop, and it would throw me off. And I mean, it was literally a 9-month process. Then I found that I started just reaching out to people like, man, who does audio engineering? I need somebody to help me. And man, there's people. I mean, dude, I tell people you got to be careful when you hire people to help you with these projects. Like, for example, case in point, my book. It is a great book. I've had New York Times bestselling authors have read my book and said it's a phenomenal book for your first book.
Yeah,
Also, the problem with my book, there's a lot of errors and grammatical errors in there because I hired a guy and paid him a lot of money, and he did a shit job editing and proofreading my book. Pissed me off. And I didn't realize these mistakes until I started reading.
Weird.
I'm like, man,
somebody didn't do their job. That's weird.
It's always like that. It's always like
bro,
that.
It made me so mad, dude. Now, and I'm not a controversial person, but I was like, bro, I dropped a couple grand on you and entrusted you with my project, my lifelong project that I've worked on. This is a representation of me. And he was, I'll just tell him it's my fault. you know, and I was like,
Where
bro, I want
the
half my
fuck
money
do you
back.
put that in
Yeah.
as a
Bro,
post?
yeah, exactly. No, I'm like, who says that?
Yeah.
Who says that?
What do you
Like,
put
your
a
name's
post-it
not on it.
inside the cover and say, "Hey, all grammatical errors are not my fault. There's some other dude I paid."
Yeah, bro, it made me so mad. So what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna do a second audit for you. So I got the second back, and then what I did is I outsourced it to other people. Like, yo, go through this, double check this book, and this dude, he ain't do nothing, bro. It makes me so mad, but at the same time, it's a lesson learned for me, a lesson learned on my own.
Yep.
I promise y'all, when you read the book, if there's errors, I am not that stupid. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I'm also not that dumb. I
Fitz,
promise.
when you write a book, and you can attest to it, I've never written one. I've fooled around with them, but when you write, you endeavor to do 10 to 15 pages, maybe a day, and you're feverishly typing or scribbling, whatever in the fuck way you do it, whatever genre, and you go back through, do some edits, but you're also, since you're the author of it, like when I write something for filing, I wait a day before I edit that fucker because it's in my head the way I wrote it.
Yes.
And I just bypass certain edits, certain comments that should be there, certain semicolons, periods, whatever, or splitting up a paragraph because you're making two different points. But I have read some books for people, and you have to read it a couple of times as an editor.
You really do.
You as the author, I mean, you'll work through it a couple of times as the author, but you're still gonna have fucking errors because it's in your head. It's your story. It's your life or whatever fucking fictional world you're playing it in.
Mm-hmm.
That person should have gone through it multiple times, taken a step back
Did
for a
not.
week and redo it because time will help. You
Did
forget,
not, bro. Yeah, I can promise you he did not. So I sourced it out to like, man, I met another author, yo, and she was like, I'll do you a free one. I've sent it to people that follow me on Instagram, like, yo, I want to read your book and I'll edit it for you. So I'm taking all of those together and I'm gonna go back and do the edits myself, unfortunately, because this dude.
Fitz, are you talking about the same book?
What's that? No, it's the same. It's my book, but I'm gonna release a second edition that's free of all the errors.
Well,
so
I'm gonna give you this edition, this option. I read it. I saw some of this shit. If you want me to take a look at it and shit, I'll circle some stuff. I'll make some.
You're an
edits.
editor now.
Fuck you! I know the grammar.
his mustache qualifies.
Oh, yeah.
Your vocabulary is excellent too. Must say. But hey, I picked up on a few of those errors, and to my way of thinking,
Jesus Christ,
it just showed authenticity. And
that's what people have told me, man. And
the book is authentic as it can be.
And I'll say 100% to that.
I agree. Fitz, I read your book start to finish, cover to cover, and it was
I appreciate
the way
you,
it
man.
was, and you knew you wrote it, and you knew it was your words and your feelings and everything else, man.
Because the word sounded like chapter 2.
No,
back in the day, in
No,
May
it's
of
not.
1984, I was born at the hospital. My mama and daddy grew up Mississippi picking cotton.
Oh my God.
I went down the Mississippi River with Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. Oh, that's not why, you asshole.
Fuck
Because
yeah.
it looked like something you put together, and it looked like it was your story, you ass clown. And it was just authentic. It was like, hey, I'm going to put this out there. I don't have fucking big time publishers at Penguin or anywhere else. I'm putting my story out. This is my fucking story. It's authentic. It's the way I want it to be. And that's the way it is. So I'm not giving you shit.
It's genuine. It's genuine.
Although I am curious about the Audible edition. I kind of want to read that or listen to it.
I'll be honest, the Audible's really good, bro. Like it's
I want to hear the lawnmowers and shit in the background. The fuck
you don't hear the lawnmower. You don't hear the lawnmowers. Dude, my audio engineer, that dude did a phenomenal job. And he didn't charge a whole lot because it was his first time doing it. So, but he charged me like $800. Yo, typically you're going to be spending at least $2,000-$3,000 for a good audio engineer, and he did it like $800, and I tipped him a couple more $100. Man, he did a phenomenal job.
Hey, when
Great
I
job.
out of Louisville, I got some. If you want to make a $20 bill, I'll get you a $20 bill, motherfucker.
I mean, I ain't gay, but 20's 20, bro. We know the saying.
$20, man.
I want
get you a little extra in the pit.
I want to hear you yelling at your neighbor. Turn that fucking lawnmower off. I'm working over here. The fuck is wrong with you?
And the best part is my neighbors are awesome, man.
3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're cutting grass.
So inconsiderate.
Look, Mr. Neighbor, I'm reading 10 pages. I need about 4 hours to read this shit.
Shut that shit off.
Yeah, man. It was a good experience, and man, I'm glad I did it because one thing, I love audiobooks. All I do is when I'm in my police cruiser,
Yep.
listen to podcasts and audiobooks, bro. And I'm the fact that my story's out there, and
including
it's
the One
amongst
More
these
Out
other
of Here
ones.
podcast. Including that podcast.
Yep, always, bro.
There you go.
My
Hey,
dudes,
Dex.
my peeps.
I hope so.
Do you listen to Audible or audiobooks going to bed too?
No.
See, I have an issue, man. I got to listen to something. Radios. I can't listen to Carol's bullshit at night, so I got to get an Audible book and stuff on Wednesday, Thursdays to go to sleep.
I put a lot of
Just
people
to
to
get
sleep.
my mind off of whatever in the fuck's going through my head. That's why I love audiobooks. They're phenomenal.
Yeah. Really, I see, man. Because I want to. If I'm doing that, I'll fall asleep and I'll forget where I was, and I want to be fully engaged in it. So, man, no. When I go to sleep, bro, I just kind of lay down and wait for the thoughts to stop. And my sleep has been shit for years. So, hopefully, we get back on the schedule. Kind of helps me get a little bit more sleep.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy you're off nights now. I mean, I know you started a new job. Yeah, so you're the low man on.
Yeah.
You gotta eat the shit sandwich and everybody takes
Oh,
it.
bro. Dude, my first day on the new shift, man, we had this incident at this hotel here. And the next thing you know, I got this little light-skinned baby calling me daddy for like the next 4 hours. I was looking at him like, bro, like, I am not your dad. Look at us.
You call it
Look
Look at us.
look at me. I am not your daddy. It was like 4 hours, man. My partners were
That
weak.
is
I'm like,
amazing.
man,
You call it
somebody can get this light-skinned baby.
baby Carlos, man.
Where's Doug? Where's
he was a little
Doug?
mini? He looked like a little mini Kaepernick.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
Oh, so one year kid, he had more hair.
Yeah, so that kid's going to be throwing you under the bus in about 10 years from 20 years from now.
He might.
Yeah.
He gonna have to find me first though.
Dex, I will tell you this, man. We love you. I'm going to read one more ad and stick around for 1 second because I'm going to close it out in about a minute. All right.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Don't get shitty with me, man. Elite Automotive. Car won't start. A light is on. Call Elite Automotive at 859-431-3548. Elite Automotive has the mechanics to take care of all your needs. Their mechanics are ASE certified in a modern facility with the most up-to-date equipment and diagnostic tools in the industry. You can schedule your appointment online even at Elite Automotive, get a free shuttle, and walk-ins are always welcome. You also get a 1-year part and labor warranty with unlimited mileage. Yeah, you don't have to deal with that mileage limitation. Taking care of customers is the main priority at Elite Automotive. Give them a call today for all your automotive needs. Elite Automotive, 859-431-3548. Car won't start? Better call Paul.
I do like the Better Call Paul.
I like that too. I floated that as a commercial idea, man. It'd be great. Dex.
That was one of the best shows on TV, Better Call Saul.
Dex,
Great show.
I truly want to do a road trip down there, man. See you wherever. You're close to still Metro, correct?
What's that? Say again.
You're still close to Louisville downtown?
Working or living?
Living.
No. So I'm like 25 minutes north of the city, bro. I've got that.
Okay, north. Okay. Well, I'm sure you know of some bars. Do they have a Hooter close to you?
Oh, there's a Hooters over here. But
fuck yeah. That's all we need.
No, hey, bro, I'm going to take you out to Sweat Hogs close to where I live at.
Sweat Hog. What are we fucking in?
It's named after Rob. Holy shit.
I'm like the only black guy that visits there periodically, and they still remember my black ass from only the 2 times I've been there.
I love it.
My homeboy told me, you can't go to that bar.
Does Mr. Cotter own it?
I was going to say, that's from Welcome Back Cotter, isn't it?
Welcome Back Cotter.
I knew I heard that term before.
Yeah. All right.
Let me ask, hey, which one of y'all took that video of that black crackhead the other day doing the gangster lean? Oh my God, that was hilarious, bro!
And I tagged Breezy because it was in Tampa, so I tagged Breezy in it.
Oh shit!
Oh my God, I saw that dude. I was dying.
I know you've seen it before. I've seen it before. At least.
Oh my God.
It was like The Walking Dead / Sleeping. I don't know what the fuck I want to do, but I want to go in that direction.
So wait a minute. That's 25 minutes north of Louisville. So that's like an hour drive, man. We can make it in 40 because the over-under is always an under, man.
We'll get there.
GPS. We'll get there, Dex. Let us know when you're free.
More than welcome, man. More than welcome, brother. Actually, next weekend, the following week, I'm gonna have Sergeant John Madeley on my podcast. So that'll be on the 24th. We'll get it together, man. Definitely. And like I said, I'm definitely trying to get back up that way to the varsity. Y'all got a great thing, great crew, man. Freaking love one more and I'm out of here. Y'all are freaking awesome.
Dex, thank you.
I am
Thanks for
Pitts
being here.
in the house. Dexter Pitts. Everybody, check out his book. Check out his podcast. Dex is the greatest, man. Former Louisville Metro. He's with another department that I don't know, but he lives in KY, the Commonwealth, where they got the great jelly and shit. And
KFC.
and you know, Dex, man,
so
he looks
good.
like he takes care of himself. He's not drinking anymore. He's drinking water and shit. So you know he manscapes. The only question we don't know the answer to is, Dano, do you manscape?